Hey there, I'm Allison Parker, and at 34, I finally turned my lifelong dream into reality by snagging a stunning $2 million home in the upscale suburbs of Boston. After grinding my way up the tech ladder as an executive, every penny I saved went into this masterpiece, a symbol of every sleepless night and sacrifice. But what should have been the pinnacle of joy at my housewarming party morphed into a jaw-dropping nightmare when my sister Rachel dropped a bombshell that left guests gasping, including me. Before I dive deeper into this wild tale, let me know in the comments where you're tuning in from. And if you're hooked on family drama, smash that subscribe button for more stories that'll keep you on the edge of your seat. Growing up in a modest Boston neighborhood, my family seemed picture perfect on the surface. We weren't rolling in luxury, but my parents, with their steady jobs, ensured we had the essentials: warm meals, a cozy roof, and hand-me-down clothes that carried love. My bond with my sister Rachel, 4 years my senior, was a tangled mix of affection and tension. She often stepped into a pseudo-mom role, guiding me through homework battles, shielding me from schoolyard bullies, and even letting me raid her closet despite mom's protests that she didn't have to. Those moments painted her as my protector, a big sister who had my back. But as we blossomed into adulthood, our lives veered onto wildly different tracks, setting the stage for the drama to come. Rachel embraced what my parents saw as the classic path. She met Tom, her now husband, during her sophomore year at college, tying the knot by 23. By 30, she'd welcomed 4 gorgeous daughters: Lily, Emma, Sophie, and Mia, now 12, 10, 8, and 5, into the world. Pregnancy with Lily forced her to drop out of college, and Tom's role as a pharmaceutical sales rep became the family's backbone. They weren't destitute, but stretching a single income to support 4 kids was a Herculean task, with every paycheck stretched thin to cover school fees, soccer cleats, and the occasional pizza night. I, meanwhile, carved a different destiny. Obsessed with my education, I snagged a full scholarship to MIT, diving headfirst into computer science. While Rachel juggled diapers, I interned at cutting-edge tech startups, my hands flying over keyboards late into the night. As she adorned her humble 3-bedroom house with family photos, I accepted my first executive gig at a rising tech firm, my career a rocket fueled by 80-hour work weeks. My ascent was no accident. I poured my soul into every promotion, skipping family holidays to meet crushing deadlines, sidelining dating and friendships to climb the corporate rungs. By 28, I shattered glass ceilings as the youngest female chief technology officer in my company's history. At 32, a bigger tech giant headhunted me with an offer that doubled my already hefty salary, a validation of every late-night code session. Yet, I lived simply: a sleek but small city apartment, a practical sedan, and a habit of stashing most earnings into investments. My one splurge: 2 international trips a year to recharge, sipping coffee in Paris or hiking in Japan, dreaming of the home that would crown my efforts. That dream home became my obsession, a place that screamed success on my terms, a sanctuary I could call entirely mine. When I stumbled upon the perfect property, my heart skipped a beat. Nestled in a prestigious Boston suburb, this 5-bedroom colonial gem sat on 2 acres of lush, manicured grounds. It boasted a gourmet kitchen with gleaming marble countertops, a home office with custom bookshelves, a sunroom overlooking a vibrant garden, a sparkling pool, and a master suite that felt like a 5-star retreat. The $2 million price tag was steep, but my savings, meticulously built over years, covered it without stretching me thin. Signing those closing papers flooded me with an indescribable rush, a triumph over every missed birthday, every sacrificed weekend. This house was my victory lap, each room a canvas for my future. The master bedroom would be my oasis with a cozy sitting area and spa-like bathroom. One room would transform into my home office for remote workdays. Another would welcome guests with open arms. The 4th would house a fitness haven with a treadmill and weights. The 5th, I daydreamed of a library or craft room, its purpose still a delicious mystery. Planning the housewarming party was almost as thrilling as the purchase itself. I wanted to share this milestone with 40 cherished souls: colleagues, college buddies, new neighbors, and of course my family. I envisioned laughter echoing through the halls, the clink of glasses toasting my success. My parents, now in their 60s, offered a mix of pride and reservation. It's an awful lot of house for just one person, Mom remarked when I showed her photos, her tone tinged with old-school practicality. I brushed it off as a generational gap. Rachel and her crew were invited too. When I called to share the news, her congratulations sounded genuine but muted. "That's great, Ally. We'd love to see it," she said, though she skipped her usual chatter about decor, which struck me as odd. In the weeks before the party, I poured every spare moment into perfection, hiring an interior decorator for the main spaces, leaving some rooms sparse until inspiration struck, ordering gourmet catering, stocking premium wines, and even booking a bartender. The morning of the event, I woke at 6 a.m., too wired to sleep, double-checking every detail despite the cleaning service's efforts the day before. Floral arrangements, white lilies in the entryway, wildflowers in the sunroom, elegant roses on the dining table, arrived by noon, transforming the space. The bartender confirmed the alcohol delivery, and rental chairs and platters dropped off, setting the stage for a night to remember. As 5 p.m. approached, a nervous excitement buzzed through me. This wasn't just a party, it was about planting roots, crafting a future, and celebrating a hard-won milestone. Little did I know, the day would pivot into a saga I'd never forget. The first guests arrived, colleague Jason with his wife and a lush houseplant, college roommate Stephanie marveling at the winding driveway from New Hampshire. Dad offered a rare hug. "The house is beautiful, sweetheart," warming my heart as he headed for a scotch. Neighbors brought wine and small gifts, filling the house with chatter by 6:30. Caterers glided with appetizers, the bartender mixed cocktails, and laughter danced in the air. I showcased the backyard pool to colleagues. Checking my watch, Rachel and her family were late. A quick text. "Everything okay? Party started an hour ago." Got a rushed reply. "Running late. Tom had work. Be there soon." At 7 p.m., as I debated starting dinner, the doorbell rang. There stood Rachel, frazzled with her hair in a messy bun and a thrown-together dress, Tom with a tight smile and a gift bag, and their 4 daughters bursting with energy. "Sorry, we're late," Rachel said, hugging me quickly. "The girls took forever to get ready." "And Allison, your house is like a castle," 10-year-old Emma exclaimed, darting inside with Lily, Sophie, and Mia trailing, their voices bouncing off the high ceilings. I led Rachel and Tom to the backyard, noticing her distracted glances and his worried looks. Offering a tour, I sensed an undercurrent as we moved through the house, her pointed comments about the kitchen's size, the master closet's potential for bunk beds, and an empty bedroom's perfect fit for the twins grew increasingly sharp. Tom's discomfort was palpable, but Rachel pressed on, her tone hinting at something bigger brewing beneath the surface. The housewarming party reached its peak as dinner neared, the dining room buzzing with the aroma of catered delights and the soft hum of conversation. I stood at the head of the grand dining table, champagne glass in hand, the room quieting as guests turned to me. "I want to thank you all for being here tonight," I began, a warm glow of pride swelling in my chest. "This house is the culmination of years of hard work, late nights, and big dreams. Having you here to share it means the world. Here's to new beginnings and the friends who make them special." Glasses clinked in a symphony of support, smiles lighting up faces as everyone sipped. Just as I lowered myself to sit, Rachel shot up from her seat across the table, her chair scraping the hardwood with a jarring screech that silenced the room. "Since we're making announcements," she declared, her voice cutting through the stillness, "I've got some exciting news to share." Tom's head jerked up, his face a mask of alarm and resignation, while Mom, cradling little Mia, leaned forward with keen interest. Rachel took a deep breath, a strange smile curling her lips. "Tom and I have decided on a big change. We're selling our house." A ripple of surprised murmurs spread, and I felt a flicker of relief. Maybe this wasn't the drama I feared. "Congratulations," I said, forcing a smile. "Are you moving to a new neighborhood?" Rachel's smile widened as her gaze locked on me. "Not exactly. We're moving in here with you." The champagne glass nearly slipped from my grasp, my mind reeling. "What? We're moving in with you?" she repeated, louder, her tone bold. "The girls need more space, and you've got all these empty rooms. It just makes sense." The room plunged into stunned silence, every eye on me. I stared at my sister, convinced this had to be a twisted joke, but her defiant expression said otherwise. "Rachel, I don't," I started, but Mom's voice sliced through. "Isn't it wonderful?" she beamed, bouncing me on her knee. "The girls will have room to grow, and Allison won't be rattling around in this big house alone." Family friends, familiar faces from childhood, began nodding and smiling, someone even clapping. To my horror, the applause spread, punctuated by murmurs of "That's so generous," Allison, and family taking care of family from Mom's friend Susan and Dad's golf buddy, glasses raised in a toast. I stood frozen, the weight of their assumption crashing over me. My sister had just claimed my home without a word, and I was being celebrated for it. Rachel's daughters caught the adults' excitement. "We're going to live here?" 12-year-old Lily asked, eyes wide with wonder. "Yes, sweetie," Rachel confirmed. "And Allison wants to share all the space with us. I get my own room," 8-year-old Sophie shouted, leaping up. "Girls, settle down," Tom said quietly, but the damage was done. Their glee added a chaotic layer to the madness. Mom set Mia down and stood. "Let's talk arrangements," she said as if it were settled. "The girls can take the East Wing bedrooms. Allison, you wouldn't mind moving your office to the sunroom, would you? It gets such lovely light." Rachel nodded eagerly. "And we could turn that extra bedroom into a playroom. The backyard's perfect for them to run around, and they'll love the pool in summer." I finally found my voice. "Wait, just wait a minute. We haven't discussed any of this." But Rachel barreled on, oblivious. "We'll need to rearrange furniture. Your dining table's too formal for the girls, and we'll need child-proof locks on the kitchen cabinets." Guests shifted uncomfortably, glances darting between us. Jason, my colleague, caught my eye with a raised brow, but I had no answer. "Rachel," I tried again, firmer now. "This is the first I'm hearing about this." "Oh, don't be so dramatic, Allison," Mom interjected. "We've all known this house is too big for just you. It makes perfect sense for Rachel and her family to move in. The girls need it more than you do." Rachel pulled out her phone, scrolling to a Pinterest board. "I've been looking at bunk beds for the girls' room. What do you think of these?" Tom cleared his throat, a warning edge to his voice. "Maybe we should discuss this privately." "There's nothing to discuss," Mom declared. "Family helps family. That's how we raised you." The festive vibe evaporated, replaced by awkward small talk and eavesdropping guests. My dream celebration had derailed spectacularly. "Let me show you which bedroom I want," Emma announced, grabbing Sophie's hand and racing upstairs, their footsteps echoing. "Girls, wait!" I called, but they were gone. Rachel followed. "Come on, I'll show you the layout I'm thinking. The twins can share the blue room, and Lily deserves her own space now she's almost a teen." I trailed them upstairs, heart pounding, finding Emma and Sophie bouncing on the guest room bed. "Girls, please stop jumping on the bed," I said, straining to stay calm as anger simmered. "Rachel, we need to talk privately. Whatever you need to say it in front of family," she dismissed, opening closet doors to assess space. "These closets are huge. The girls will have plenty of room." Mom was in the next bedroom, eyeing the windows. "These rooms need colorful curtains, too sterile for kids." I took a deep breath. I never agreed to any of this. This is my house, and I just moved in. Rachel turned, her face hardening. "You have 5 bedrooms, Allison. 5 for one person. Do you know how cramped we are? The twins share a room the size of your master bathroom." "That's not my problem," I snapped, instantly regretting the harshness. Mom gasped. "Allison Parker, I didn't raise you to be so selfish." "It's not selfish to want my own house," I defended. "I worked hard for this." Rachel's voice rose. "Tom works 60 hours a week. I juggle 4 kids and a part-time job, but we're drowning, Allison." For the first time, I noticed the exhaustion etched into her, dark circles, strained voice, hinting at a deeper crisis. "What's going on?" I asked, softening. "Why are you really selling?" Rachel's composure cracked. "We're underwater on the mortgage. The housing market crashed after that chemical plant opened nearby. We owe more than it's worth, and the bank's threatening foreclosure." Shock hit me. "Why didn't you tell me about your financial troubles?" "Because you never ask," she exploded. "You're so wrapped up in your perfect life and career. When did you last check on us or offer help with the girls?" Her words stung with truth. I'd been laser-focused on my path, perhaps neglecting her struggles. That doesn't mean I agreed to you moving in, I countered. This should have been private, not a party announcement. Mom stepped in. Allison, when I was young, family lived together without question. Your grandmother stayed with us for 15 years. Your uncle lived with us when he lost his job. That's what we do. Times were different, I argued. Those arrangements were discussed, not sprung on someone mid-party. We tried, Rachel said. I called you 3 times last week, but you were too busy with work and moving to talk more than 5 minutes. She wasn't wrong. I'd rushed her off, distracted by contractors and deliveries. Tom's footsteps on the stairs broke the tension. Everything okay up here? He asked, though it was clear it wasn't. Did you know about this plan? I asked him. He hesitated. We discussed it, but I thought we'd ask you privately this weekend. Rachel glared at him. We don't have time. The bank called yesterday, 30 days. 30 days until what? I demanded. Until they start foreclosure, she admitted, voice breaking. We're 3 months behind. Tom's commissions dropped, my hours were cut, and with the girls' activities and medical bills. So you decided to ambush me. I was incredulous. You have the space, she shouted. You have the money. You have everything. Would it kill you to share? Mom nodded. She sacrificed so much for you, watching you while I worked nights, helping with college apps. She's always been there. The guilt trip was a familiar tactic. That doesn't give her the right to claim my house, I insisted. It's just temporary, Rachel said, though her earlier words suggested permanence. How long? A month, a year, 5 years? I pressed. She didn't answer, which spoke volumes. Lily appeared in the doorway. Mom, can I have a room with a window seat? Before Rachel could reply, I interjected. No one's getting rooms because no one's moving in without my agreement. Lily's face fell, and guilt twisted in me. This wasn't her fault. Now you're making the girls cry, Mom accused. Is your privacy worth hurting your nieces? The spiral was dizzying. Downstairs, guests murmured, likely wondering about their missing hostess. Rachel, this isn't just about space, I tried. It's about boundaries and respect. You should have talked to me privately. We don't have time for your boundaries, she snapped. Tom finally spoke. Rachel, Allison's right. We should have discussed this first. Whose side are you on? She whirled on him. Do you want your daughters homeless? Of course not, he said quietly. But this isn't the way. Mom threw up her hands. I can't believe this. My daughter with all this space refusing to help her sister. Was I selfish? Could I share my home temporarily? But memories of past, temporary arrangements stretching indefinitely flashed through my mind. I never said I wouldn't help, I clarified. But moving in isn't the only solution, and it's not one I'm comfortable with. Rachel laughed bitterly. Of course you're not. Heaven forbid your perfect life be disrupted by kids and chaos. That's not fair, I began, but she cut me off. What's not fair is my kids might be homeless while their aunt hoards 4 empty bedrooms in her mansion. The accusation hung heavy, a mirror to our lifelong dynamic. The upstairs hallway of my dream home felt like a battleground, the tension so thick it was hard to breathe. Rachel's words, "You're refusing to help us," echoed as I stood firm. I'm saying I won't be manipulated into a living arrangement I never agreed to. I clarified, my voice steady despite the storm inside. I deserve to be consulted about decisions affecting my life and home. Rachel repeated bitterly, Your home, that's all you care about, isn't it? Your precious privacy. That's not fair. I started, but she interrupted. What's not fair is my children might be homeless while you sit in this mansion. The weight of her anger, Mom's disappointment, Tom's discomfort, and the girls' confused faces in the doorway pressed down on me. This wasn't just about space. It was about breaking a pattern of obligation that had defined us for decades. I took a deep breath, steeling myself. I think you should all go downstairs and rejoin the party, I said calmly. I need a moment alone. Running away won't solve anything, Mom chided. I'm not running, I assured her. I'll be down in a minute. I need to get something from my office. They filed out reluctantly, Rachel herding the girls ahead, their footsteps fading down the stairs. I heard Mom making excuses to guests, her voice a faint hum as I leaned against the wall, eyes closed, gathering strength. In my office, I stared out at the manicured backyard I'd been so eager to show off, the The party downstairs now a muted echo of its former joy, occasional laughter, the clink of glasses, but the festive spirit gone. From the bottom drawer, I retrieved a leather portfolio I'd tucked away a week ago, running my fingers over its embossed surface. This wasn't the plan. Rachel's ambush had forced my hand. Tucking it under my arm, I straightened my shoulders and headed downstairs, reminding myself this was my house, my life, my choice. The living room hushed as I descended. Guests' faces a mix of curiosity and unease, the upstairs drama clearly circulating. Rachel sat on the couch, tearful yet defiant, surrounded by her daughters. Mom patted her hand sympathetically. Tom stood awkwardly by the fireplace, wishing he could vanish. I moved to the center, setting the portfolio on the coffee table. "Thanks for your patience," I began, addressing everyone. Family discussions can get emotional, as I'm sure you understand. A few uneasy chuckles broke the tension. Jason raised his glass, slightly in solidarity. "Since this has turned into an impromptu family meeting," I continued, "I want you all to witness what I'm about to share." Rachel frowned, confusion replacing her anger. "What are you talking about?" I opened the portfolio, keeping documents face down. 3 months ago, I got a call from Craig Wilson, Tom's colleague at the pharmaceutical company. Tom's head snapped up. "Craig called you." I nodded. He was worried. "You've been asking for loans." Things were tight. He thought I could help, but didn't want to overstep. Rachel flushed. "He had no right." "Maybe not," I conceded, "but I'm glad he did." After that, I did some research. I slid the first document across, Rachel and Tom's mortgage statement. "You're not just 3 months behind, as you said upstairs. You're 5 months behind, and foreclosure's already started." Tom looked away, shame etched on his face, Rachel speechless. "The second thing," I continued, turning over another page, "your house isn't worth what you think. The chemical plant hasn't just hit property values. It's made your home nearly unsellable." "How did you get these?" Rachel managed. "A friend in real estate finance," I explained. Once I saw how serious it was, I wanted to help, on my terms, not ambushed at a party. I revealed a third document, my attorney's letterhead. "3 weeks ago, I bought your mortgage debt from the bank." Stunned silence gripped the room, even eavesdropping guests now riveted. "You what?" Rachel whispered. "I bought your mortgage," I repeated. "The bank was happy to offload it to avoid foreclosure. I now hold the lien on your house." Mom's eyes widened. "You own their house in a way?" "Yes," I said calmly. "I was going to tell you privately this weekend, offer a solution respecting everyone's needs." Tom stepped forward, cautious hope in his eyes. "What kind of solution?" I pulled out the final document, a rent-to-own agreement. "You stay in your house, paying me a reduced amount you can afford. After 5 years, you can buy it back at fair market value, with part of your rent as a down payment." Rachel stared, speechless. "This gives you stability," I explained. "The girls stay in their school, keep their friends. You parent your way and I keep my home. You've been planning this for weeks?" Rachel asked. "Without telling us?" I met her gaze. "Yes, just like you've been planning to move in for weeks without telling me." Tom chuckled softly. "She's got a point, Rach." Mom wasn't convinced. "But why not let them move in? There's plenty of space." "Because that's not what any of us want," I replied. "They need their space, the girls need stability, and I need my sanctuary. This respects everyone's boundaries. I was going to surprise you this weekend," I added. "Take you to lunch, explain it, give you good news that you wouldn't lose your house. Instead, you ambush me." Rachel's defiance crumbled to shame. I was desperate. I didn't know what else to do. "You could have trusted me," I said. "Asked for help directly, not manipulated me." Tom scanned the agreement, nodding. "This is incredibly generous, Allison." "It's what family does," I said, echoing Mom's words. "We help, but with respect for boundaries." Mom faltered, her certainty shaken. Lily tugged Rachel's sleeve. "Does this mean we're not moving here?" Rachel looked at her, then me. "No, sweetie. It means we keep our home." And Allison helped. "Oh," Lily said, disappointed. "But I wanted a big room with a window seat." I smiled. "Visit anytime. The guest room's yours." Tension eased. Guests resumed conversations. Rachel approached, eyes red. "Why?" After everything I said, why do this? Because you're my sister, I replied. Those girls are my nieces. Despite it all, we're family. But this solution respects us all. No codependence, just support. She nodded slowly. I need to think. Talk it over with Tom. Of course, I said. No rush. It's filed with the bank. Your house is secure. Mom persisted. I still think family should stay together. We are, I said gently. Just not under one roof. That's okay. As Rachel and Tom huddled over the papers, guests offered congratulations or polite exits. Jason lingered. That was a power move, he said. Not meant to be, I admitted. I just wanted to help my way. He nodded. Sometimes standing firm is the kindest thing. After the last guest left, my home felt vast and quiet. Party remnants, half-empty glasses, crumpled napkins, a forgotten scarf, scattered like echoes of chaos. I moved through, straightening cushions, not ready for bed despite exhaustion. My mind replayed the night, questioning my choices. Morning brought a text from Rachel. Can we talk? Just us. We met at a quiet cafe the next afternoon. She looked tired but calmer. I want to apologize, she said. I shouldn't have ambushed you. It was manipulative and unfair. Her words stunned me. Apologies were rare in our family. Thank you, I replied. I'm sorry too for springing my plan publicly. No, she said. You were cornered. I gave you no choice. We sipped coffee in silence, decades of tension hanging between us. Tom and I talked all night, she continued. We want to accept your offer. It's generous and gives us a chance to recover without uprooting the girls. Relief flooded me. I'm glad. I want to help, just not by losing my independence. I get that now, she admitted. I've been jealous of your freedom, your success. It's easier to call you selfish than face my resentment. Her honesty opened a new chapter. I've been insensitive too, I said. Focused on my career, maybe too much. We've made choices, she echoed. Different, but neither better nor worse. We formalized the agreement with my attorney. Fair terms, payments they could handle, a 5-year buyback option. Mom resisted, clinging to old ideals. In my day, we didn't need legal boundaries, she grumbled. Times change, I said gently. This gives dignity and security. She relented as Rachel and Tom's relief grew. I started therapy, unpacking guilt and obligation. Boundaries aren't selfish, my therapist said. They're bridges for safe connection. 3 months later, I invited Rachel's family for dinner. Relaxed, no hidden agendas. The girls explored with my blessing, swimming in the pool. Your aunt's house is cool, Tom told Emma. Yeah, but I like our house too, she replied. Rachel and I began monthly sister dinners, sharing hopes, fears, and dreams. I learned of her abandoned interior design passion. She saw my loneliness. It's never too late, she said 6 months on. Look at us rebuilding. My nieces became joys. Lily painting in the sunroom, Sophie swimming. I hosted family dinners, welcomed sleepovers, even adopted a cat, embracing a little chaos. A year later, we gathered again, small, just family. Rachel toasted. To Allison, who taught us boundaries can be love. To new beginnings, I added. Mom later admitted her error, hugging me tighter. I'm proud of you. The journey wasn't over. Old patterns lingered, but we built respect, not resentment. My home stayed my sanctuary, but true security lay in balanced love. Have you stood your ground with family? Share below. Like and subscribe if this hit home. Thanks for joining me. Define your space with love,